You know, we hear about death, and many people are afraid to die. Well, I tell you, the first death is easy. Dropping this physical form is no problem. I grant you a lot of people have to get kicked out, but just dropping it, you step into a very beautiful world in the second physical, but you're usually hung up on something with the ego desires. The second death is the rough one. That's a tough job. It tells you in the Bible about the second death. But when you have to give up, move on through and get into here, and give up all personal desires for that which is below of the life that you have now lived, when you know for sure that Audley will not live again, that you have to give up all of Audley's desires, all his passions, all his anxieties, all his loves and thrills and joys, all have to be given up. Second death becomes a tough job. And when you have the capacity to watch people die and see them get caught up in these desires and come back and hang around the family and hang around the job or whatever it is they are attached to, you can see what a tough job it is to give up that second death. This is why we teach you to clear this concentrating so that you don't have a hang-on to the ego desires. You give them up now. If you give them up now, you scoot right on through your heaven and hell worlds. They just separate as you go through. Just bing, 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 bing. Everything goes aside because you're heading to where you have already been. And consciousness has given you this movement where you have no fear. You know where you're going. You're going back into the illumined body and then going back and set into the center of the soul, the great supreme beingness. Most people never get beyond here. Do you realize that? You can watch them. They come up here and wander around here 50 or 100 years, and then they get in here and get lost and come right on back. In their astral records, they get lost. Trying to play a game, trying to pick out a part of the past that they would like to play again. And it becomes, this is why a lot of people have a lot of trouble when they come back. They're trying to act out a past lifetime memory. This is why I say be careful when you start digging into your past lifetimes. Have some stability. Sometimes it's very good to know things. Other times it's not. So that's the reason that most of you, bless your heart, you ask me whether you should do it or not. And I look inside, and if there's a real tremendous weakness, I'll tell you no. But if you have some strength and some stability, I say, yeah, it'd be good for you. So these things have to be understood. But if you, at the right time and the right place, and you can handle it, sure, why not? Why not go back in the records, see the whole thing? I enjoy it. Now I do. There was a time when it used to scare me, but not now. I can go back and look at some of my records and say, well, that's the reason I'm like I am. Dadgum, got to change that. I carried too much of it over this time. So I work on to change it. And this is what you must do. Work to change yourself.